It's all about the money. You're gonna have fun fooling your family and friends with this trick. Here, you're going to double your money and then you'll produce a bill seemingly out of nowhere. I'll teach you everything that you need to know to make the prop and perform the trick. Let's get to that lesson. Bet you didn't know there's money in magic. Quarter, and I have here this strange, I don't know what we'll call it a paddle. But here's what's interesting about this paddle. It's magical and it has an affinity with money. In fact, let's put a quarter on here, and if it does its job, check it out. It actually doubled my money. How about that? I kind of like that. I like having a little extra money there. But here's what I think is really cool. How about we try and not only double it, but let's go for something exponential here. So once again, we have our quarter. Okay, we're doing something exponential here. Boom, did you see that? Oh yeah. I'll just remove this side here. And I think that paid off quite nicely. This is a money-making paddle. Now the key to this trick is to make sure you have a stick, and the key aspects of the stick is that it's flat and has a wider side than the other side. Now this is just, I think, a drink stirrer. That's all it is. And so that's what I'm bringing in for this trick. This is also a toothpick that's used on a sandwich. So next time you get a sandwich with a toothpick, you can save this. But the key is that you have a flat side so you can perform the move. Now you could do this with something that is round, for example a straw, but the problem is it's hard to when you do the move to make the turn correctly when you have no reference point, whereas with the stick you know when you've actually turned it over. Oh, and another thing you can use is a cheap chopstick, you know, those kinds that you get at the restaurant, fast food place, and you break apart. And those make great sticks as well. They're probably a little long for this purpose, so you'll have to cut them down somehow. So I have my stick, 2 pieces of foam core board. It's about 1 by 3 inches, 2 pieces. Now, what I discovered is that I'm going to have to, if I were just to glue these two together, you'd have this thickness in between. Doesn't quite work. So what I'm doing is hollowing this out in the shape of the stick here, and then that way I can, I've already done a cut here, so what I'm doing is just trying to hollow this out enough that the stick will fit. And I guess all I'm going to do is just kind of peel this way until I get approximately the depth I want. So we're just going to kind of do this. Let's see how that looks. That's looking pretty good. What I want is the stick to be pretty much flush with the foam core here, and then when I put the other piece on here and glue, then it'll look like one solid piece, as much as possible. I've made my indentation here, so now the stick can be flush inside. So let's use some glue, and we'll hope that this will work. That's looking pretty flush there. I'm happy with that. And just for a little support, I'm going to put a piece of tape here that I think will offer a little more than this glue will. So the stick is now glued inside, and now let's glue the other piece here on top. Now let's let it dry. Something else that helps to do the move is if you wrap a rubber band around. This is something I like to do. just like that. And it gives you that surface that just grips nicely with your fingers. Now that your paddle is dry, here it is. Essentially, you've created an ice cream on a stick, or I guess a modified lollipop, whatever this thing is. This is one of those magic tricks where the object is just kind of strange and you just go with it. Here's what you'll need for the trick. You have your paddle. I have wrapped the rubber bands around here just to make it easier to perform the move. And I have the rubber band wrapped around. And this is just plain here. Now, you're going to have to practice this move here. Actually, I'll put the quarter on here so you'll be able to see it a little better. But as you see, when I'm turning this over, see, it should look like I'm just turning it over. But what I'm actually doing is I'm turning it in slow motion here. So you're actually showing both sides on both sides of the swing. Now let's do the blank side here. And I think you'd agree it's really quite convincing. It just looks like you turned over your hand, yet you're just showing the same side. And then when I want to make the quarter appear, I can just turn it. So what I did there is I just went like this, and under the cover of my hand, I just turned it over. So you start out, master the move first. So again, it's turning, just like that. Once you master that and you're comfortable with it, again, the rubber band helps a lot here. So you show, well, this is what you do before the trick. You take your bill, you fold it up, and place it underneath the rubber band here. Now, even though you have a bill under here, that's pretty convincing, isn't it? You don't see it because I'm doing the move. See, it's slow motion, that's the move. And same thing with the other side. If I were to do the move, it would look like there's a bill on both sides. But do it quickly and nobody sees it. So you come out with the paddle and you have your quarter, you're ready to do the trick. Say it's a money making magic trick. You show this strange thing, whatever it is, and even the professional ones that are made look pretty odd too. Nobody's ever seen anything that looks like this. You have your bill secured to the back, and you come out and just show it, apparently both sides, but you're actually showing the one side. So it looks like it's blank on both sides. Then you take your quarter, place it in, secure it, and then here's where the money doubles. You're going to perform the move again, and it looks like there's a coin on both sides. Pretty nice. But here's what's really interesting to really multiply your money exponentially. You just wave your hand here, and under the wave, you're just turning it over, and you show that there's a bill. If you want, you can show it on both sides, and you've really doubled it, and then you're just going to say, oh, I think that was a good payoff right there. And you have your money that you've apparently created with your magic paddle. The other thing that's kind of fun is that you can say, oh, we're going to give you the other one, and they've just seen a $100 bill over there. But what you do is when you turn it over, it's still just a quarter. So you say, oh, well, you get that one, and you can give them the quarter. And I think you'll have fun. And once you know how to do this move, the paddle move, I'm doing it right there, then there's a whole bunch of tricks that are made professionally that you can buy. And they're made of wood and steel, and they look quite a bit better than this funky DIY lollipop paddle thing that I taught you. But of course, this is a DIY channel, so I try not to use professional props. So anyway, have fun with that. Well, I hope you have fun with the trick, and if you'd like to learn more tricks, I have these lessons available for you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.